You know what makes me smile? Bacon. It's vlogging day 879. I don't know why bacon.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm chewing still. I'm not really ready for the day to start. On my way to meet with a potential accountant. Hopefully, everything works out. I need one. As much as anything, it's just making sure that I'm doing everything correctly to pay my taxes in the United States and in France. Don't know if that's one of your questions today, but to celebrate 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to be answering your questions, which hopefully you've already submitted. If you're going to submit them now, it's too late. Sorry. But I gotta go, because if you couldn't tell by like the chewing and drinking on the move, I'm not late yet, but give it about 30 more seconds and I will be. So let's go. Get with it. All right, first round here. Puxan's actually leaving his studio, which is one of those secrets I wasn't allowed to say last time I was here, but now it's actually happening, so I'm allowed to say it. I'm just gonna answer a couple of these. Is Paris still safe to visit? Is probably the number one question that I've been getting lately. Yes, it's safe to visit. Is it safe?
Yeah, very safe.
It's very safe. I actually half expected a joke when I asked him that, but yeah, Paris is super safe to visit. You should definitely come visit. It's only on Saturdays that the protests are happening. The protests are more of an annoyance than anything else. Very small number of people that are actually causing trouble. Is it difficult to network in Paris as an American? Yes and no. Depends on how extroverted you are. It's difficult to network no matter where you are as an American, I think. But yeah, traveling and living abroad makes it extra difficult. So definitely make sure you have the energy to do it. If you're gonna live abroad, you're gonna have to invest some energy in that. What's the Space Invader thing? Cheryl asks. Space Invader is a street artist that posts tile mosaics all over the city. He's actually been in like 66 countries around the world. They're clever, they're video game inspired, they're permanent. If you try to remove them, you destroy them. And you can actually play a game called Flash Invaders, which I can show you here. If you wanna play a game called Flash Invaders, you can just download the app. This is how you can verify whether or not they're real. By taking a picture of them with the app, and then it will collect them into a gallery for you. You can see I have a whole bunch of these, including this one, which was just reactivated as one of my favorites on the canal. Thankfully, it's back up. The Drunk Smurf. Oh, it looks like he has fewer cans around him now. Anyways, I gotta help Puxan move, and then we'll answer some more questions. I'm grabbing these off of Twitter. Those were actually, I'll just keep going through the YouTube ones here. Oh, Nancy, this is a follow-up question. Space Invaders are still going up all the time. He just has been reactivating some that have been destroyed, so those are really fun to go find as well, but then there are new ones going up all the time. I don't know if you guys were trying to get those questions answered in the Q&A, but there you go. Why Paris? Kim asks. I love Paris. I just feel at home here. I feel like this is probably really close. I love the city. I just feel at home here, and it's beautiful. The lifestyle is great. The people are generally all right. The bread is good. There are a lot of reasons to be in Paris. Do the French only eat pizza with a knife and fork? I don't know how many of them cut it into slices and how many don't. Combien des Français est-ce que vous croyez qui mangent leur pizza avec une fourchette couteau et sans fourchette couteau? Pourcentage.
30-60.
Combien?
25-60.
25-60? 75? Okay, so apparently 25% will eat it with a knife and fork, according to the French guys in the room, and then 75% will eat it without. But a lot of times it comes uncut, which is the annoying part. You have to cut your own slices. What's my most embarrassing moment since moving to Paris? This didn't happen in Paris, but I've had a number of embarrassing moments with the French language. The word for line and the word for ass are very similar in French, basically to queue up. And I went to asked a lady if she was in, when I was trying to ask her if she was in line, I asked her if she was in ass. That didn't go over well, so that was embarrassing. We're waiting for the Uber van to come pick us up so that we can actually move all of Puxan's stuff out of his studio. In the meantime, I get this question a lot. So I'd love to move to Paris one day. Where in the city is best to start living? I can't answer that for you because it depends on what you like. I would say definitely in the city. The closer to the center, the better. Unless you like a little bit quieter, then I would take one of the outer. So basically, if you like it quieter, I would think western or southern portions of the city. If you like a little bit of nightlife, more restaurants, bars, or just more fun, I would try to stay central or kind of like north. That's a whole nuanced conversation to have, but that's kind of my rule of thumb for that. Some of these questions are not questions. Are there taxis available on the weekend? Yes. Even with the protests, it's going to be harder to get around. They've got a lot to. You're going to be doing a lot of walking if you're on the weekends. What do I think will happen this weekend? More protests? I don't know. I don't imagine that they'll be insane or anything, but they're going to continue because they're not happy with Macron's response, from what I've been hearing. Is my apartment tour coming? Yes. I'm gonna do that as soon as Puxan and I have a chance to put up some lights in the room to make it, I want to have it finished. I want it to actually be like done. I don't want to have it be talking about things I intend to still do. I really want to have it as finished as possible. So we're just like a couple steps away from that. What did people do before YouTube? That is not a question that's intended for the Q&A, but that's a good question. I don't know what the answer to that is. Here's our Uber van. Are any other daily Paris vloggers? I can't get enough. I don't think so. Do you know any other daily vloggers in Paris?
Wait, the light is not very good.
Oh, how's the book writing and revision going? Not great right now. I'm focusing a lot more on this. Puxan and I are going to India soon, so trying to get ready for that. Just like trying to consolidate. And hopefully next year I'll get back to writing a little bit more. I'm resting as much as I can, and writing is not necessarily restful. Where's the Twitter? There are a lot on Twitter. Let's see. Tim asked, will I still do live walks in neighborhoods as I've done in the past? Yes. The hard part is actually deciding what neighborhoods to do, and Paris is so walkable, you kind of end up walking through multiple at once, so it's hard to dedicate it to any one. But yes, I need to do more of those. I was just thinking about that. Which supermodel would you rather date? Present day Tosh Oakley in her prime Cindy Crawford? I actually had to look up who this was. I didn't know who Tosh Oakley was. Don't kill me for that. She was listed as an entrepreneur, so I'm gonna pick her based purely off that. What's that?
Cindy Crawford.
I know, we have Cindy Crawford. Any plans to create a book regarding your Paris experience? It gets asked for more and more, and yes, but I don't know how to format it. I don't know how to write that book yet. So I think I just need to start writing different stories, and we'll see what comes out of it. How do I see myself evolving with the vlog with the addition of the new camera? Well, for one, Puxan can film me while I'm using my phone. To read this, that's an evolution, believe it or not. So having my phone as a character is one thing, but it's slowed me down a little bit, and it's giving me like a real reason to get out and just shoot to try and get pretty footage, which I want to do more, and we're gonna try and do a lot of that in India, which you want to make sure you follow Puxan actually for that too. So I'll have some good stuff as we're going. How is the beer scene in Paris? Any favorite breweries? I don't know if I have a favorite brewery in Paris, but there's a lot of really good beer in the city. That Parisienne is in Alsace, so that doesn't really count. I love Pan Am Brewing Company a lot, but more for the ambiance and like the setting than the beer's okay. I like a couple of their beers, but I don't know if I would declare them my favorite. Does it bother you to sit next to other people in Paris who smoke? No. If it does, you're not gonna survive in Paris. Are you willing to pimp yourself? AKA hire to spend a day biking to find invaders. I'm obsessed and willing to pay top dollar. No, this is an ongoing conversation. Maybe, actually. I was talking with Val about this. She runs her own tourism company. There's some really cool potential opportunities coming up with that could be interesting, but generally no, because it's not scalable. And I'm already really busy, and I like doing tours, but they take a lot of time and energy, so generally I don't do tours anymore.
Give me a pause real quick.
Pause away.
I understand why it was so dark now.
Uber van film production provided by Puxan Photo. Did Louvre Eddie blame you for losing his tools at the Louvre? And secretly, that's why he's no longer in your vlogs? Yeah, he tried to murder me. Our friendship is over. No, Eddie and I are good friends. He left the country shortly after that for a while. He's back now. I just don't see him very often because our paths, they just don't cross as often as they should. And usually when they cross, it's like late at night at like a party or something. And I don't generally film the nightlife too much. What's your biggest splurge? That was tragic though, him losing his tools. That still haunts me a little bit. What's been your biggest splurge since moving to Paris? Buying a couch. That was awesome and crazy, and now I feel like an adult. How much money did you have saved when you moved to Paris? Not enough. Like, not enough. Definitely not enough. Finances, if you go back and watch my vlog from last year, were a massive stressor. What is the airspeed of an unladen swallow? What is that? I feel like they were missing a part of that. Velocity. Oh, he caught himself. Yeah, an African or European swallow. Puxan's website says he has French and American citizenship. What is the story behind his American citizenship? Did he live stateside? He did live stateside. I'll let him answer that.
Haha. Well, that's for another video. This is about Jay.
It's complicated, but I've almost got it down. I need refreshers every once in a while, but I think I've got it. Am I growing my beard back? I can't stop. Is the Peloton near the Louvre? It's like a 15 or 20 minute walk from the Louvre. It's not too far. Who is Richard other than Gustav Zoner? He is a fashion model and master chef. In your Vlogger's Guide to Paris, you don't mention a place for best steak frite. I don't know if I can recommend a place for best steak frite. Do you have a place for best steak frite?
I don't eat meat anymore.
Yes, working on being vegetarian, or vegan, I guess even. Anywhere, if you want good steak in Paris, you really have to pay for it. So that's why it's hard, because like the average, getting a really good cheap steak is really, really, really hard to do, if not impossible. So if just go to your average French bistro, get it, you'll enjoy it with the poivre.
Poivre.
It'll be good, it'll be fine. Why sci-fi? Do you enjoy reading nonfiction? I read very broadly. I just like writing sci-fi. That's where I'm at. Dogs or cats? Dogs at this point. If you could never drink coffee again, what would be your next must-have drink? The tears of my enemies? I don't know. I haven't had an Oreo milkshake in a really long time. I'd really like an Oreo milkshake.
Every morning?
Do I have to have it every morning? Oh man,
You have to replace
that'd be great.
it.
I'd have to go for a lot of runs. What's the one thing you can't live without? Puxan's friendship.
Oh.
If you were offered
And coffee.
If you were offered a free car to own in Paris, would you keep it or trade it in for something else? I would trade it in. I don't need a car. Although I would probably, if I could get a motorcycle, I would want one just to get out of the city. And having a car to leave the city is great. Having a car in the city, terrible idea. Your soulmate would be American, European, or from somewhere else. Wherever my soulmate was forged, I will accept her for who she is. You're offered an all expenses paid trip, I'm assuming, for a year. Where would you go? Assuming that they paid for me to come back, Mars. What's the thing you love most about Paris? The food. I was gonna say Puxan again, but I think that's too much brown nosing. I love the work-life balance and just general culture of relaxing here. People start their mornings much later here. The day doesn't start till 8 or 9, and people are chill. It's surprising how stressed out people are in Paris for this, but it does feel like a less stressful environment. Do my friends drink as much coffee as I do? Yes. Puxan drinks as much or more coffee than I do.
Guilty.
How are women in France different than women in the US? They are taller.
Don't answer that.
What's my outlook on where I want to be 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year plans? That is an entire video. I think that's all the questions that I have on here. Puxan, do you have any questions for me?
What are we eating for lunch?
We're gonna eat some of Puxan's mom's cooking, which is amazing. And that's an exciting development in my day today. And that should be it. Welcome back to Studio Free Living, Puxan.
Cool.